Hey everyone, I'm going to do a little bit of a rechargeable battery review guide, introduction, talk about the batteries, going to talk about the chargers. Chargers are very important. I've been using rechargeable batteries for really all my life since I was a child, moving more intensely into them as of late though, and they're getting a lot better. They're getting a lot better than they used to be. I was unsure about making this video because I'm a data-driven individual. I'm very into statistics and data and facts, and running the analysis. But I realized that even if I did have all the data collected so far on my batteries, that it would not be statistically significant because of the small sample size. Plus, I only have this video camera for the day, so I'm working on our project. Thought I would do this as well. So this is going to be mixed in with some limited data. I'm going to tell you some limited data that I've found with my batteries that I have, and then also they'll have some anecdotal evidence from my years of use. And then I've been researching batteries quite intensely for the last month or so, looking into them quite a bit. And so just to start out, I suppose, talk about batteries as a basic. So you have the alkaline batteries, throwaway batteries as people sometimes call them. They're cheaper to buy initially, but it does add up very quickly. They're about 50 cents a pop to buy, and they're really horrible for the environment if you care about that. And then you have the lithium batteries. The lithium batteries are they're lighter weight than any other you're going to get. They have a lot of energy in them, and they're really expensive. Probably not so good for the environment either. I'm not sure. I know the alkalines are bad. I'm not as sure. Pretty sure lithium ions are as well, though. I think they mine it from Costa Rica. But and then we have the rechargeables, which is what we're going to be talking about today. And with the rechargeables, you have a couple different types of rechargeables. You have the nickel cadmium, which were the batteries that had the memory effect to them. They were real popular in the 80s and into the 90s. And the industry standard is nickel metal hydride batteries, which is all of these right here are nickel metal hydride rechargeables. They don't have the memory effect to them. They're better for the environment too. And then you have lithium ion batteries. So the lithium ion batteries are going to be like what you have in your cell phone, right? They are making some 9-volt lithium ions now. They don't quite get the same voltage as the others, but I don't have any 9 volts, so we're not going to discuss that too much. We're going to focus on these nickel metal hydride batteries today. And so I have a whole set of the nickel metal hydrides here. As I said, you can save a lot of money switching over to the rechargeable batteries, which is initially why I did it. Each one of these batteries that you get, if you get a good quality battery and a good quality charger, they're going to last 1,000 charges. And so what that means is essentially if you buy one of these throwaway batteries, you will have, they're about 50 cents a pop. Or you can get a higher quality rechargeable battery, which is going to cost you $2.50 to $3 a piece. But each one of these is worth 1,000 of these. 1,000. So it doesn't take long to do the math there to realize that this is a much better deal if you're going to be charging them a long time. So getting into the batteries themselves. These are the batteries that I have right here. I have a whole set, everything from the Duracells to this. Some Sonys, some newer Sonys, some older Sonys, some Sanyo Eneloops, which I have read a lot of really good reviews on. Just recently started using these, so I don't really have data yet. But before we get into that, let's talk a little bit about the battery charger, because I just recently learned the battery charger is very, very important, which makes sense if you think about it. A couple different chargers that you're going to have on the market. These are two I have, but a lot of chargers out there are going to charge with two bays. For example, you'll have to use two bays at the same time. And so when you are buying a battery charger, you'd want to make sure that they're independent bays. So each battery runs independent of one another. The advantages of that, of course, is that you can do it you can charge just one battery, you can charge 3 batteries, or if this battery is full and this battery's charging, it's going to keep pumping the juice into here, which is bad for these other batteries. And so getting a decent charger is really good. Also, you want to make sure that you have a charger that has an auto off on it, so it's not going to continue to charge for a long time even after the battery's charged. You want to make sure it turns off. And even better yet is going to be a battery charger that moves to a trickle charge, such as this one that I have. It's the Lacrosse BC700. It has a multitude of functions. I bought it for about $30 off of Amazon. Again, that's the Lacrosse BC700. It's a great one. Ansmann also makes an excellent battery charger that's similar. The nice thing about this battery charger is that it has independent bays, it has the trickle charge, it also has refresh options, discharge options, you can see testing options to see where the battery is at, and it has this display, which you can see the display here, and it will tell you where the batteries are at by click. So when you first turn it in, you press mode, and you can choose between discharge, which is going to discharge the battery all the way and then charge it up all the way. You can also, for kind of a quick refresh of the battery, I suppose. And then it has the refresh, which is going to fill the battery up. It's going to drain it a little bit, and then it's going to fill it up, then it's going to drain it, and it's going to fill it up, and then it's going to drain it a little, and up and down and up and down, and then it keeps pushing up higher and higher into the maximum capacity of the battery. And you need to do that maybe once a year, and it does take a couple of days to do. That does take a long time. And you can see the display here is showing me exactly what's in these. These are all AAAs, and these two are actually 700 milliamps. These, this one and this one are rated at 700, but you can see, or milliamp hours. You can see that I'm actually getting a lot better out of them, and they're still discharging. They're not as good. You can also roll through here, and you can see how long they've been charging. You can see what they're charging at, milliamps, or if they're discharging, you can see what the volts are. So this one I'm getting 1.17 volts. This one I'm getting 1.41 volts. Now that's huge. That's really good. So this is a really good battery. This one I'm getting you can read that, 1.26 volts on it. Also, you can change the current. I can't change it right now. When you talk about the current on your batteries and your battery chargers, a lot of times they have those rapid chargers, and those rapid chargers are really good for, say, a professional cameraman, and you're using a lot of batteries throughout the day. You're using lots of flash. You need them. You need to charge your batteries quick, and you want them charged in 15 minutes. That's really good for that, but they're harder on the batteries. So they'll heat up the batteries, and if you get just a cheap charger, it's going to ruin your batteries, basically, and they could potentially blow up on you too, because it's going to get so hot and not have a heat sensor. This one, for example, has a heat sensor. So if you charge them at a lower rate, you can see these right here, I'm charging, well, they're not but they're 200 milliamp is what I charge these at. So this has a 200 milliamp, a 500 milliamp, and a 700 milliamp. You can also get one that the BC900 goes up to a 900 milliamp. So that just means it charges faster, makes it hotter, and it's also harder on the battery. So I'm charging these at a lower rate. It does take longer though. So the battery charger, again, very important. You want to make sure you have an independent bay charger. I was using crappy chargers.